Storm by Beth Powdrill. Read by Sarah Greenwood.
Come gather round for I've a tale to bestow. It tells of events that transpired many moons ago. And all that happened then is yet to be discussed, for the fear of sowing seeds of mistrust. It is a story that has remained untold, consigned to distant memory, residing in days of old. Only lately that memory has been edging ever closer to the forefront of my mind, threatening to spill over. This tonight will be the night where I seek some relief. I ask only for an open mind and to suspend your disbelief. So if you're ready, get cosy and warm, for this tale begins amidst a gathering storm. It was a cold winter Friday, in fact the coldest one yet, although the exact date and time I forget. The night's dark had settled, and a blanket of cloud descended hung low, becoming a shroud around my stooped shoulders, heavy with fatigue. As I made my way home along the empty streets, the emptiness was familiar. We were friends as far as I could tell, the only one I had, but we knew each other well. There with me through every part of my waking day, always at my shoulder, but with not a lot to say. So sometimes I made the mistake of thinking I was lonely. Empty home, empty hallways, empty life, empty streets. That night the streetlights shone with ethereal glow, and as I glanced upwards, the first flakes of snow. Just small ones at first, barely there, and then gone. Then thicker and faster and coming in strong. A blistering blizzard had started to form, and I soon found myself in the eye of the storm. As the wind picked up and began its onslaught, it appeared that the weather was reflecting my thoughts. You see, the thing is, my mind was a mess, and my thoughts were the snowflakes, a chaotic tempest. Whirring and crashing, constant and unrelenting. Trying to keep a hold of them soon became disorienting. Losing my focus, the world seemed to darken, every day insurmountable. I lost my spark, and there was not much of me left. Yet more emptiness, except the storm in my head, agitation in excess. Now the storm surrounded me, the snow becoming thicker, fat flurries of flakes poured from the sky, falling ever quicker. The chill was pervasive and unsympathetic. Looking back now, it was almost pathetic. In no time at all the snow covered the ground, amplifying the silence, absorbing all the sound. I quickened my footsteps, aiming for home, though I knew when I got there I'd still be alone. I pulled my coat higher and pulled down my hat, when a sound interrupted, stopped me in my tracks. A footstep on fresh snow, an unmistakable sound. I paused for a moment before turning around. Unsure of what faced me, I took a deep breath, scanned my peripheral from right to my left. But I could see nothing, so I turned around fully, but all I could see were more twirling snow flurries. Unnerved and unsettled, I continued my walk, unable to shake the feeling that I was being stalked. My heart matched my footsteps, quick, pound after pound. Then all of a sudden, I heard the same sound. Yet this time was different, not one step but more. The sound seemed further away than before. As I sped up, the steps seemed to get closer, until they were upon me and I lost my composure. I spun around, frantic and ready to fight. Yet again I saw nothing as I stared down the night. Perhaps the most strange thing I happened to note was the absence of footprints in the carpet of snow. No visible sign of the sound I just heard, no telltale shoe marks, just fresh snow and unperturbed. My panic was rising. I had to get home, to try quell this feeling of not being alone. I stumbled and I slipped and I started to run, while the wind whipped around me, pulling me undone. It was then in that moment I swore I heard a voice in the wind uttering these words. When your world is in darkness and nothing seems right, hold on to your hope and look for the light. Was I losing my mind? Was it all in my head? All of these footsteps and words being said? I didn't know, but I knew one thing for sure. These words spoke to me more than any had before. I exhaled deeply, tears formed in my eyes. I had not heard words of comfort in such a long time. I knew not where they'd come from, just what they'd been said, and my fear was replaced by a stillness in my head. For the first time in years, I had peace in my heart, and as I looked up, the clouds started to part, revealing the moon, full and bright. The downpour had stopped, just fallen snow, shining white. I headed on homewards, calmer than before, and as I arrived, it was then that I saw a candle burning outside my door. Through the dark, through the storm, through the wind and the snow, tiny candle's flame had continued to glow. It was not one I'd lit, but it was lit all the same. There was so much contained in that flame. When your world is in darkness and nothing seems right, hold on to your hope and look for the light.